Hi. You got this. You were doing it. I thought you were doing it.
Hello and welcome to Pets Deserve It.
Did you forget your name?
We are your hosts, Jessica
and Dr. Megan,
co-owners of Latah Creek Animal Hospital, Spokane's premier fear-free certified practice. We are so glad that you're tuning into our podcast. New episodes drop on the 1st of every month.
This is our podcast where we discuss stress in every aspect of your pet's life. If you missed our previous episodes, check them out on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. In our first 2 episodes, we talked about our evolution with fear-free, why it matters, and how to read your pet's body language. If you can't tell they're stressed out, then you can't help them.
It's hard and you can't advocate for them.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, since you did catch our first 2 episodes and now you're an expert on body language, we're going to build on this.
Okay, let's jump in.
Today we're going to talk about how to make a calm and low stress environment at home for your pets.
It's important.
It is. It starts at home.
It does.
This is important because fear-free starts at home.
You can say that again without me laughing if you want.
I don't think we should. I think we need to do more improvising.
Well, good, because you didn't even read this, so this is all improv.
When pets have a secure base, such as a low stress and calm environment at home, it allows them to be more resilient after a stressful event. Do you want to know how to create a calm and low stress environment for your pet?
Of course you do.
Of course you do.
Of course you do.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Hit it.
Let's do it. So our homes are our safe space, ideally, and they should be that way for our pets as well. Like Jessica said, pets who feel safe at home are going to be more confident and resilient in new environments because they don't have that baseline level of stress all the time at home.
Because it doesn't have to be that way at home.
It does not have to be that way at home or at the vet. Mm-hmm. If fear and anxiety in the home are not addressed, it can negatively impact your pet's overall health. In our first episode, we talked about how chronic fear, anxiety, and stress, or FAS, can lead to health issues. And while that is very important, obviously, for vet visits and events, it is even worse when it's chronic stress at home. If your pet doesn't feel safe at home, consult with a behaviorist because it doesn't have to be that way. There are behavior management and medication options that can help.
If you need information on where to get a behavior consult, there will be information in the description box or the show notes, depending on how you're watching or listening to this podcast. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about creating a safe space in the home, and we'll start with dogs.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of dogs do like the crate, especially when they're trained from a very young age, which your veterinarian should be recommending to you, because all dogs should be crate trained for different reasons, because for varying reasons, they do need to be left in a crate, whether it's because you're at work, overnight, or if it's their safe space. Mm-hmm. And they especially like it as a safe space because it does mimic a den, especially if they have their bed or a nice blanket in there, maybe a shirt of yours that smells like you.
You never know when you're going to want to travel or when your dog's going to need to be at the vet for the day. Mm-hmm. And just having them able to go in a safe space where they can't get hurt themselves, mm-hmm. get lost. Getting hurt and hurting yourself is the same thing. So you can't get hurt or hurt yourself.
You could do both.
You could do neither. Yeah. And you're great.
Yeah. At home, they do like it to be covered, ideally. Mm-hmm. And lots of they make kennel covers, but you could also just put a blanket over the top of it. If they do not prefer a crate, because you chose not to crate train them, they're scared of the crate. We do have some dogs that really can't be crated.
Or you have a rescue who mm-hmm. has trauma with the crate. Mm-hmm. Some dogs with separation anxiety can't be crate trained. I've been blessed with a claustrophobic dog who can't be crate trained.
Sometimes what a blessing.
He is my blessing.
Blessing in disguise. That's okay. Find them a quiet room, a quiet space that can be theirs with their bed and blanket and same comforts in there. Make sure that it is away from the main parts of the house. If they get scared or nervous, that's somewhere that they can go to get away from company, other pets, what have you. As you know, our dogs want to be with us a lot of the time, but they still need that safe space to go if something scares them.
They do.
And that could be a storm, it could be fireworks, visitors, They just need that safe space.
With lots of kids, they might need a break. Even if they love their kids.
Yes.
They might just want a little break to go to a spot that's theirs.
It's nice if you can have some white noise or some soft classical type music playing for them to help drown out the sounds and also comfort them.
Fun fact, if your dog is not reacting well to classical music, try reggae music, because there was another study done that some of them like that beat.
Okay.
Classical is the go-to, but some dogs like reggae.
If you're able to dim the lights, or if they have a cover over their crate, that will help as well. Soft lighting is always very nice for them. So what is important for them is to keep it consistent. Whatever you choose, keep it consistent. You'll hear us talk about consistency a lot in a lot of different situations, whether that's at home, outside the home, at the vet clinic. Be consistent. Keep their crate in the same place. If it's a special bedroom or an office with a bed in there, keep that the same, and just let their space be their space. Don't change it on them.
Don't change it.
Don't move it. Especially as you get to having an elderly dog, you shouldn't be changing their spaces at all. So really try to make their safe space consistent.
If you're going to travel, bring their crate with you.
Yeah, no, so funny. When we go camping with our lovely puppy Benelli, we take her crate with us so that she has that same setup. It's got the cover, it's got the blankets, and we just set it up inside the camper. So.
Yeah, and I put my dog's bed in the camper, and the camper has become his safe space.
Okay. Yep, it is a safe space when we're camping.
He loves his camper.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about cats.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Boy, I thought I was hilarious with these jokes I put in here. I can't say any of this. Many cats will feel safe if they can get up high on something. Cats love to gaze out upon their territory.
Their kingdom, one might say.
One might say.
Okay.
And they also will use that as a way to get away from things on the ground that is stressing them out, like other pets, kids, just anything.
I have a lot of stuff coming up on my social media feed of all of the cat shelving, and people will remodel, and the cats can basically get from all across the wall and to the next wall and across the doorway, and I really like that.
Yeah, cats love that. We had one client who put carpet up his walls so his cats could climb up the walls. Obviously, that's very dedicated, but he had a room that he didn't care about and just put carpet up on the walls and then shelves for them to get up on.
I've watched them run up that carpet.
And then a lot of cat trees, if you don't want to modify your house, you can get them a cat tree, which they also love. And then a lot of cat trees also have spots at the base where they can go hide. So then you have the high up perch, you have the little cozy den area for them to go hide in, where they have some options for safe zones. Also, for cats to feel comfortable, it is very important for them to have what we call resource stations. Cats are very motivated, and it can be a huge cause of stress for them to feel like they don't have enough resources, they can't access their resources. That tends to be a huge point of stress, even for single cats, but especially if you have more than one.
I feel that way when I can't get to the snack cupboard.
When your kids are blocking it?
Yeah.
You need like a little secret snack cupboard in your bedroom.
To my resources.
Yeah. You need a little secret one.
So should there be multiple resource stations? Depends on how many cats we have.
I wrote, even a cat who lives alone is going to be cognizant of their resource stations.
Cognizant.
Yeah, that's today's word. It was going to be ameliorate, but I said I wasn't allowed to say that word. So.
Okay, so cognizant. Okay, so...
I wrote, what was I writing on here? I wrote, cats are like middle managers. They're very concerned about resource distribution. I don't know exactly what was happening. Okay.
So cats are middle management of the house.
Yeah. They think they're the top dog, though.
But they're really not. They're middle management.
They're the middle cat.
Okay.
Resource stations are food and water stations, and then also the litter box being a separate resource station, because you don't want those two things close together.
You don't want to eat where you poop.
No, your cat doesn't either. So we'll start with the food and water. You want them in a quiet, ideally elevated area where there isn't too much traffic through and nobody else can get at their food. So the dog can't get their food, for example. Also where they, and this goes for both the food and the litter actually, where they won't be constantly interrupted when they're trying to do what they need to do. You'll want again, multiple throughout the house. If you have just one cat, you can get away with just one resource station, food and water resource station, as long as it's in a good spot. But with multiple cats, you will want multiple in areas where they won't have points of contention. So that'll look very different depending on what your house looks like, but you don't want a bottleneck area. You don't want areas where they might get in each other's way, block each other from the food and water, things like that.
But for the resource stations, unfortunately, I did only have one resource station, but it is up on my kitchen counter. But they seem to like that.
But your kitchen counter has...
It's like
multiple,
an island.
It's an island, and it has multiple areas where they can go to it and also leave it.
And it's not an area that we like cook or prepare food in. It is off to the side. It's worked well for them.
It works well for them, and also for my pair bonded cats, I only have one resource station because they are fine with it. They get up there together and eat anyway. So there is a lot of nuance with that, but again, we're giving you kind of the baseline that you can tweak depending on your family. You know, my two cats that absolutely do everything together will sit up there and eat together. Yours didn't want to eat together.
They actually waited in line.
That's cute.
So they would wait in line, and Gus would always let Rocco go first, and then he would just wait his turn, which is probably lucky, because
that's very
I understand
lucky.
that we didn't get lucky with those cats. They're good cats. Okay, but litter boxes, that's another good point, because I know even in the exam room, we do ask, I know we're not talking about the vet, but we do ask clients, how many litter boxes do you have? Because that is very important to make them a low-stress space at home.
Because not only is it a resource station, it also matters how clean it is, where it is. There's a lot that goes into the litter box. And even if you just have one cat, you should have 2 litter boxes. You should basically have one more than the number of cats you have.
So cats plus 1.
Cats plus 1, and in the cat's mind, a bunch of litter boxes together is one litter box, because they're all in one space, one giant, awesome litter box.
Right.
That they love that, but it's still just one, because it's one resource station, one litter box station for them.
I remember when we went to the behavior conference, and the behaviorist had set up 6 cat boxes all in a row for her cats, and she said, this is one resource.
Yeah.
However, my cats have been okay with it, but it's not ideal. You would have them in different rooms.
You'd have them in different rooms, and you would have, again, sort of like with the food, you want it somewhere quiet and out of the way to go to the bathroom. But a lot of times, because the litter box to us is stinky and we don't want it around, we want to stick it out in the garage or down in the basement. The cats don't want to go in a dungeon necessarily.
Yeah.
Something like a laundry room would be perfect, or a a spare bathroom, somewhere like that, where it's a little bit out of the way but very accessible and still very clean and a part of your home, and they now have to go downstairs into this dusty, crusty basement to go to the bathroom. I wouldn't want to do that. They don't want to do that either.
Right,
it's like a porta potty.
Yeah.
It's exactly like a porta potty out in the yard is how they would think of that.
Okay.
The litter box should ideally be, we can have a whole litter box episode.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that goes into it. But basically, it should be big, and it should have the kind of litter that they prefer, and be scooped very frequently, which we can get into a lot more detail about that at
a later date
in our poop box episode that we might have.
Yeah, it's like the poop cruise.
It's like the poop cruise.
Okay.
But yes, cats that are not pair bonded will get very stressed out by resource stations. I can hear some of you thinking, but my cats don't mind. Those cats are probably very closely bonded, or just so chill that they don't care about anything. Like my vet school cat, he was like, yeah, so many in and out pets, whatever, I literally could not care less. But most of them aren't like that.
But it's a fine line to a behavior problem.
That's just the behavior problem, just waiting.
Fine line to need behavior management.
Yep, this behavior problem is waiting to rear its head at all times.
So small mammals, which will be our guinea pigs, bunnies, ferrets, and our reptiles. So this one's a little bit easier because they generally they live in an enclosure. Mm-hmm. Even most bunnies and guinea pigs live in an enclosure and may just come out to play. I mean, and reptiles too, but they spend most of their time in an enclosure. So they have a built-in safe space that you, have bought all the things at the pet store to make it nice and comfortable and fun and enriching for them. This should be in an area of your home, period.
It should be in your home.
Hang on. It should be in your home and not outside.
Not outside.
Ideally. So it should be in an area of your home where they can still get attention, but also maybe not the grand central station of your home.
Right.
So they can get attention, but it's not where all the foot traffic is. A living room or a bedroom is a good choice. You know, you probably spend your evenings in the living room and can hang out with them. Mm-hmm. You'll want to make sure that the lighting and the bedding and the decor is appropriate for them, and that it's appropriate for the species that they are, because they all have a little bit different needs. And these needs are extremely important just for their general health, but also for their stress level.
Let's talk about enrichment.
Okay.
Enrichment is super important for your pet's mental well-being, no matter the species. Pets need species-specific exercise as well as mental enrichment.
Let's talk about species-specific exercise. What does that look like? I'm just kidding.
We didn't talk about that because I feel like people know how to take their dogs on a walk, but we certainly could do that if you want.
I'm not sure I've ever heard it phrased like that before. Species-specific exercise.
Okay. Enrichment is really important for your pet's mental health. Of course, your pet needs exercise, but they also need mental enrichment for their well-being.
And species-specific exercise. Don't forget.
Remember, I sent this to you to edit and you didn't.
I don't need to edit it.
So now you just want to make fun of me.
Exactly. Just like us, if our pets are not properly enriched, we get bored, we get destructive, we get stressed.
Do you get destructive?
I do. I start to chew on stuff and make a mess. No, I rot my brain on social media.
Oh, yeah. You just destroy your brain cells. I do that too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We get bored.
Hopefully that's not how you feel when you're listening to this podcast.
You can't be bored listening to this.
How could you be? We're hilarious.
But without proper enrichment, we get bored. Pets get bored. They get destructive. They might then cause themselves stress, or they might pick up bad habits that then cause stress. Barking, chewing.
Sometimes what looks like a behavior problem is just a lack of enrichment. Like you were just saying, you know, are they tearing up the house because they have separation anxiety, or are they tearing up the house because they're just bored? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's a fine line and you have to figure that out.
Yeah. And we're not just talking about our hunting high functioning dogs. We're talking about low drive dog mm-hmm. breeds that you would think don't generally need a lot of exercise.
Yeah. And cats need enrichment.
Mm-hmm.
Your reptiles need enrichment. Everything needs enrichment.
So whether it's a Chihuahua or a Border Collie, they need their own, maybe more breed specific type enrichment.
Yes. My Chihuahua mix doesn't need to go herd sheep. His enrichment is just going outside and taking a walk for a little bit.
Okay.
Thank God, because I cannot imagine him herding sheep.
No, I think that would be very interesting.
Yes, far removed from the wolf he is.
Yes. Okay, so for dogs, I know, just thinking about in my home, so I have a golden retriever. He's 7-ish, and then I have Benelli, the wire-haired pointing Griffon that my family thought was a great idea to go hunting a few times a year. Mm-hmm. We did pick that breed because they are supposed to be great family dogs, which she has turned out to be, but she needs different enrichment than Dash does.
She needs a lot of enrichment.
She enjoys, or Dash, my golden retriever, enjoys the enrichment that she gets because it involves a lot of treats.
Yeah,
but
he likes that.
She needs it more often, where he may go off and get tired and lay down and take a nap. She wants another puzzle toy. So talking about puzzle toys, you can buy puzzle toys, you can make puzzle toys. There's different levels of puzzle toys that they can work at to get the treats out. And she is very driven to do that.
The less driven dogs, or your puppies, or ones you're just starting out, start with something simple like a stuffed Kong, and then you can graduate up to the level 3 and 4 puzzle toys that are so hard that if you go way back on our Instagram, there's a video of one that me and one of our nurses could not get the food out of.
Yeah, I actually saw that on TikTok.
Oh, is it on
TikTok? Looking back on our TikTok.
Oh, it's on our TikTok as well.
Yeah.
And we gave that puzzle toy to a corgi, my friend's corgi, and she figured it out in about 30 seconds. So think about that if you want a smart dog.
Yeah. But so teaching tricks and working on training and stuff at home is also going to be enrichment, right? And also training, so that's good. And we know that especially our dogs, they want to interact with us. So take them to not only a training class, but then learn what you should teach them at home and work on it for a couple minutes, a couple times a week will help with that.
I feel like you've really learned how to fit that into a busy schedule. You know, a lot of people think like, oh my gosh, I have to go home and I have to train the dog and enrich the dog. But just spending a couple of minutes here and there, I mean, short sessions, and look how far she's come and how well she does and how much it's enriched her life.
Yeah. So with Benelli, right, we've learned so much here at Latah Creek about puppies and how we want to train them and enrich them that when I got a puppy, of course, I'm like, I have to do all of those things. You don't have to do all of those things. So we rolled that back a little bit and sort of pick and choose what is important for us that Benelli learn. Aside from her hunting stuff, she needs to be a great family dog and learn basic commands and manners. But also the skills that we try to teach here as far as middle and stillness, I do that a couple minutes a day. When I get up in the morning before I put her in her kennel, we do some training and tricks, and then she gets her breakfast in her kennel and she thinks that's great. But I find a minute here and there almost every day because it is only a couple minutes, or I'll find like a half hour when we get up on Saturday morning to work on her stuff.
And even just feeding, you know, sometimes even just feeding your dog out of a puzzle toy, that doesn't add any extra minutes to your day, but they will.
That's how I fed her breakfast, and then she ate the puzzle toy.
Whoops.
And so we do need to get a new puzzle toy for that purpose, but now she gets her bowl. But yes, we did do that for many months, and then she chewed it apart. But
those teenage years are rough.
It is, right? She is 14 months old, so she's learning, and so we're not only enriching her specifically, but helping with the training that then does help at the vet, because we did need to see her a couple days ago. And the things that I've been working on helped a lot here because it was an unexpected visit. You never know when that's going to happen. We did not know that we would need to see her and sedate her. And because we've been working so much on middle and pretending to do injections, that she didn't even hesitate. She didn't even stop eating her treat.
She didn't.
Which often we get and then they go back to eating their treats. She didn't do any of that.
And that's a great takeaway, too, is you don't have to think of it as like, okay, now this is my feeding time, and this is my enrichment time, and this is my exercise time, and now this is his quiet time. I mean, a lot of these things that you can just incorporate all of this into your daily life. You can have, for example, you can take them on a walk. They can go outside and walk, get physical exercise, sniff, and get mental stimulation that way, then come in and eat their food out of a puzzle toy and do a 3-minute training session. You know, this doesn't have to be super overwhelming. And then you can even combine that with the things that you're trying to learn, like Jessica did for the vet. You know, it's not the training, the tricks you teach them can be just fun party tricks, or they can also double up as handling and things that help them. So really you can put all this together so you're not spending hours and hours a day doing this, because we have busy lives and it can all fit together really, really well.
We also have documented Benelli's journey through when we first got her and all of the training that we've done at home, as well as her visits at the clinic. And we could put some links to those in the description box and show notes, just so that you can kind of see where we just take a couple minutes here and there and what we do. So there are other things that you can get to help if your dog needs to exercise, wants to exercise, and maybe you don't have time or are not capable of taking them on a walk. They do make doggy treadmills that you could do for a couple minutes a day to help them get that same type of exercise.
Yes, and you can also, you know, really get fancy with it if your dog loves this and if you love it. You can look into things. You can even do this at home in your backyard. Look into Rally, which is like tricks plus obedience in a course. It's just really fun. You can look up Agility if you don't want to take lessons or can't find them in your area. You can buy the equipment and look up how to train your dog to it. I mean, there's tons of fun things you can do. You know, on the flip side of it, if you're like, well, yeah, I can fit it into my day, but also I actually really love it and want to do more. Yeah. On the flip side, the sky is the limit with that. There's also trick titles. There's just tons of really fun stuff you can do if you have a dog who loves it and if you love it.
Yeah. All about creating that fun, safe, low stress home for them.
Mm-hmm. And can I talk a minute about maybe dogs with mobility issues?
Yes.
If your dog has mobility issues, something that involves sniffing is great for them. Nose work, hiding treats around, even in a small area.
I just bought a scent training kit off of Amazon to see.
That's really fun.
How I haven't used it yet, but
yeah, it's really fun. Inclement weather, older dogs, all of these things can help. You know, sniffing is one of the most calming things a dog can actually do. So even if you're going on a walk, they should have time to sniff.
Let them stop and
Let them
smell the bushes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let them stop and smell the pea mail.
Yes.
And in the house, hide things around for them to find. Sniff kits, hide treats, things like that are really, really enriching for them. It's like us just reading a really engrossing novel or watching a really engrossing show.
Okay.
It's very mentally stimulating for them.
Okay. Okay, do you want to take us into cats?
I do.
Okay.
Let's go to Catland.
Okay.
There are food puzzle toys for cats too. They just look a little bit different. They are more hunting simulating. So one of the most popular ones is little mice looking toys that you hide food or treats in, and then you hide the mice around and they can go find them. I've also seen ones where they have to kind of dig, like it's a box with a bunch of holes in it, and they have to kind of dig the treats out, which is like how they would fish, basically, or dig little critters out of the ground.
Okay.
Very much like they like to play hunt. You'll see that even when they play with each other. They hunt each other.
Yeah.
We talked about cat trees already. They can double as enrichment if you put them somewhere where there's fun things to see. Like if you put one by a window, or if you can't fit a cat tree there, hanging a little hammock in a window. They love that. Or they have little perches you can stick to the window so they can sit and look out. We keep looking that way. There's a window over there. It's like real life cat TV. And if that's not an option, then do cat TV. They have channels on YouTube that are just birds and squirrels and fish for hours on a loop. Just be a little mindful that if your cat is really, really into hunting, they might try to knock your TV over trying to get these things. So just make sure that everything's secure, or you have an old iPad you can sacrifice that you can put on the ground or something along those lines, because we did have our clinic cat knock over our computer monitors.
Yes, Flopsy.
We no longer have Flopsy. But when we did, she would knock the computer monitors over.
She did not.
And then when we took the cat TV away because of it, she'd knock the monitors over in protest.
She was very upset about that.
She needed her cat TV time.
Because I think people were sneaking her cat TV time.
They were absolutely sneaking her cat TV time. The joke I wrote in here is you could turn your cat into an iPad kid. I really was on one with these jokes. I must have written this at night because I thought this was hilarious at the time.
Oh.
Anyway, wand toys have been shown to reduce anxiety in cats. I think that's just the toy they used for the study, because really anything that simulates hunting and does those natural behaviors will reduce their anxiety. Yeah. But some cats love wand toys. I like them a little bit better than the laser because there's something for them to catch. Sometimes the laser can be frustrating. If your cat already loves a laser, just point it at a toy that then they can catch at the end of the session. So it's a way to do that.
Yes.
But also, your cats can learn tricks.
They can.
They can. We have lots and lots of patients who come in and show me their tricks. There is a video on,
impressive.
I think it's my Instagram, of a client who taught her cat to come and sit, and that's how she got him out of his crate when he got here. She called him out. He sat. He got a treat. He was just tickled to death to show off his trick, and
that is so funny.
They love it. The hard part of that, they love to learn, and they love to learn tricks. The hard part of that is finding a motivating treat.
Yes,
that's the hardest part. And your sessions with cats have to be shorter because many of them won't just eat unlimitedly like a dog will. But once you find that sweet spot, they love to learn tricks.
And when the cat's done, they're done.
They're done.
They're going to go off and hide in their cat tree.
And that's okay. Do you want to talk about small mammals?
Sure. Small mammals.
Yeah.
Bunnies, guinea pigs.
Yes.
Ferrets, oh my.
Oh my. So for our small mammals and reptiles, a lot of the enrichment can be rotating decor through their enclosures. That can be not too much. Too much can be stressful, but putting 1 or 2 new things in there every so often, putting toys in there for the small mammals and some reptiles like toys, putting those things in there. And of course, time outside of the enclosure. Some reptiles like to go outside. You can put your bearded dragon on a leash. Tortoises and turtles really like to go outside quite a bit. Not the aquatic ones, but the land ones like to go outside. And then probably your giant tortoise doesn't need a leash. You could probably find him,
catch him if he
catch him in the yard. But I would strongly recommend putting your bearded dragon on a leash if you're going to take them outside.
They'll scurry off.
They'll scurry off, or birds love to eat your baby, so be careful with that. Do you want to talk a little bit about exotic enrichment, what you do with your guinea pig?
Yes. So we have a guinea pig. Her name is Chong.
There is a Cheech.
There is a Cheech, her friend, the bearded dragon, that does not live in our house. This was a teenager's purchase. So Chong is really very sweet, but she will bite you. So what we did for Chong is we did buy her little toys. So she actually likes to push the ball and have the treats fall out like the dogs do. So That's she cute. Has a toy like that where her little pellets will fall out. And then then they also make, I guess you would call them puzzles. It's just this wooden 6x6 platform, and she'll have to move the lid or pull the lid off or slide it, and then we can put, it's not quite as big, so there's just little treats in there. So she does seem to like that. We do like to give her, every once in a while we'll give her a few blueberries for a treat. I'll give her a little piece of banana, tomato, but she also likes to come outside. She also likes to come out and be held. And one of our dogs really likes her. The other one tries to hunt her. So we do have to be very careful of that. We do have a cage that we can put outside so that she can be on the grass and the cage just circles her. So she has some supervised time outside. We did try the leash. She didn't really like it. She has a costume. She doesn't like it.
Kevin doesn't like his costume either. Yeah. Kevin is my bearded dragon. His enrichment is a little different. He does not, a lot of bearded dragons like treats. He does not care for treats. I've tried different things. He's pretty picky. I do hide his bugs down in his green, so he has to root around for them. He likes to dig, so he's on sand. Don't at me, people who don't think bearded dragons should be on sand. He loves to climb, so he has lots of different climbing areas, and sometimes I move them around a little bit. And he likes to come out. That's his favorite enrichment. He will actually bang on the front of his enclosure when he wants to come out, and then I let him out. And he loves to, they'll tell you what they find enriching. He likes to get on my desk and look at my trinkets and kind of just walk around and look at them. He loves to do that, so I let him do that. We go on a leash and go outside, and he likes to sit and look out the window. Those are the things that Kevin finds enriching. My pets could not possibly care less about him. My other pets, my dogs and cats, they just ignore him. So
Chong likes to eat.
Kevin also likes to eat bugs, but he can't have too many bugs.
She eats endless amounts. I think they just are
They're meant
bred
to
eat.
Whereas bearded dragons are not supposed to eat constantly.
And now every time you open the fridge, she starts squealing.
That's
wee,
cute.
Wee, 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 wee. And then you open the plastic of the butter lettuce, because she loves butter lettuce, and just wee, 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 wee. She's very, very cute.
She's very cute.
Yeah.
Every time I go in the kitchen, Kevin peeks his head because he can see, if he gets up on his branch, he can see over my kitchen island. And he looks to see if I'm getting bugs with his bearded dragon side eye.
Okay, so let's talk about handling and training the fear-free way in the home, which can help keep their stress low and help prepare them for outings, specifically coming to the vet. So how you handle your pet in general in any situation matters. The end.
Basically, yeah. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. You need to be calm and predictable and consistent always, which is hard, especially when you have a puppy.
Yeah.
It's hard. It is hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
You never want to force interaction. So if you didn't listen to our body language podcast, number 2, make sure you go listen to that so you can learn about body language.
Number 2 is important.
Yes. Number 2 is very important for lots of reasons, but number 2 is very important because it's going to give you insight in how to read your pet and how to know when they've been pushed too far, whether that's in a social interaction or training, really. Okay, so most importantly, you have to be consistent and you can't force anything.
Right.
Okay.
And you want to avoid punishment both when training and in your daily life as well. Your pet mostly does not understand what punishment is. If something is dangerous or you need them to stop, you can interrupt with a no or a clap, but then you want to immediately, calmly show them what to do. We're not screaming at them. We're not hitting them. We're not continuing to yell at them. Mostly they just don't understand that and they're going to be scared of you. Again, an interrupt is like, no, come here. Okay, Fluffy, come over here and do this instead. Just to get them to stop and look at you and then do something else. That sometimes you have to do that. They're running towards the road. Right. They're eating something dangerous. I understand that. We're not saying that you have to be like, hey, Fluffy, please put that battery down. But it's not, no, Fluffy, you're a bad dog. Oh my gosh, why would you eat that? Give me that and rip it out of their mouth and hit them and throw them outside.
Yeah. Or in the kennel. Poison the kennel. Also be mindful of, and I find this too because the puppy wants to try to get the cat and we immediately want to grab her collar. And so then you start to see her like, when you put your hand out, even innocently, okay, Benelli, come on. And you go to grab her collar, maybe to put her leash on. And she's like, because we spend a lot of time grabbing her collar. So then we try to like grab her collar and give her a treat to try to make it more positive. But even that, innocently grabbing her collar, even if she's doing something she shouldn't do, to be mindful of how to then try to turn that positive.
Turn it positive. Yeah. And one, say you don't want them to run out the front door or chase the cat is harder, but say you don't want to do something, you end up grabbing their collar. Instead of that, training them, for example, let's say use running out the front door would be another one where you would be grabbing their collar a lot. Train them instead to go to a mat and then train them to go to a mat when the doorbell rings. And then every time they hear the doorbell ring, eventually they'll go to their mat because that behavior is incompatible with running out the door. So you're teaching them something to do that they can't run out the door while they're doing it. That instead of just constantly, no, stop, they might stop for a second, but then they're like, oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Just going to keep doing that because that for some reason is rewarding or it's what I want to do. And instead we're reinforcing something new for them to do. And that works for anything. Train something incompatible with what you don't want.
So we don't want them running out the door. So we train them to be on a mat and they'll learn to be on the mat and they won't run out the door.
Exactly.
Okay. Use lots of treats.
And lots of treats and praise.
Lots of treats and praise.
For handling, making handling good. We're not forcing them. Just like at the vet, we're not forcing them to do their nails. We're not forcing them to get brushed when they hate it. I mean, if they need to be brushed, yes, they need to learn how to be brushed, but we teach them how to do that rather than just forcing them to do that. So that's a positive experience and they'll want to keep doing that. And we talked about this already. Short, positive training sessions build confidence and trust for the busy among us and even for the non-busy among us. One little training session every day is better than a 45-minute training binge on the weekend.
Yeah.
2 or 3 minutes a day, the dog actually, or cat, or bearded dragon actually learns better that way.
Yeah, it's easier to fit into your day.
It is. Do you want to talk about some fear-free tools to use at home?
Okay.
All right, moving on.
So let's start with pheromones. This one is very easy to have in the home. We use it a lot in the clinic. Pheromones are meant to mimic natural comfort signals, so they work really well for dogs and cats. There aren't pheromones for other species other than rabbits right now, which we do use in the clinic, but mostly you're going to find Thunder Ease or Feel Away, something that you can use in your home. It comes in a spray. You can spray blankets, beds, the leash, their shirt or coat, the carrier before you bring them to the vet, their crate at home, the cover that goes over the crate, and on and on and on. There's endless uses. You can also use the diffuser that plugs into the wall that you can use in a decent sized bedroom. One diffuser will work in a bedroom, will for surely work in a bathroom. Where would you recommend putting the diffusers in the home? Maybe in like wherever their crate is or a bedroom that's their safe space. But
for
are there
dogs,
also like
for dogs, yes. For cats, probably around a resource station because that's going to be their point of contention, most likely.
Okay. The other thing that we kind of talked about already is going to be soft music, whether that's classical or white noise. Again, you'll find that your pet might have some other taste that they really like. I've heard people say my dog really likes AC/DC. I question that. But
that's me. My dog really likes AC/DC because he is one that prefers a beat. When
he's a metalhead.
When he's stressed, he will get more stressed with classical. I don't recommend starting with AC/DC, but you might find your dog likes something specific. I've heard that from others before. I walked into an exam room one day and someone was playing Taylor Swift for their cat because the cat liked it. Yeah. And that's what...
Who doesn't like Taylor Swift?
Everyone should like Taylor Swift.
But they have tested some reggae and said that reggae also tends to be one that helps lower the stress levels.
It's just a stone's throw away from reggae to AC/DC.
Exactly.
Sometimes you can cheat the system, honestly. Is your pet stressed by things outside? You can just get curtains. Not everything has to be a huge training moment if you don't want it to be. Pet stressed by the doorbell? Disable the doorbell and have people text you when you get there. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you can... Not everything has to be a learning moment if you don't want it to be.
Turn off Alexa, turn off your Ring doorbell.
Yep, turn
off
things
all the
off.
Things, because now every time the dog hears Alexa, they run to the door.
Yep. Sometimes you can just modify your home and save everyone some stress.
So I think we've kept these fine listeners here for quite a while today. So it's probably time for us to say goodbye.
To sign off for this month.
For now.
Ta-ta for now.
TTFN. So before we go, we just have a couple things that we want to throw out there. If you're listening from afar or close, but you do not go to a fear-free clinic, do you want to know how your clinic stands up to fear-free? Go on our YouTube and sign up to receive our questionnaire, which is something that you can use after you go to the vet and kind of think about, does your vet do these specific things? And if they don't, you should have a conversation with your vet. Or if it's time to find a fear-free vet, we will put a link to the fear-free directory in our show notes and description box, because again, if you're not locally, there are fear-free clinics all over the world.
So that's it for this month. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you weren't tuned out. To learn more about fear-free and helping prevent stress in your pet's life, here are some ways you can engage with us. Our Instagram at Latah Creek AH, right here on our YouTube channel at Latah Creek AH, where you can also download our Fear-Free 101 guide, and Facebook, you guessed it, at Latah Creek AH.
Sounds good.
All right.
We'll have some links to some different things in the description box and the show notes.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Bye.